I want to have more. Let's begin. Should you use a realtor when buying a new construction home, or should you go directly with the builder's rep? Is it bad to use a builder's agent? Do you save money when you're going directly with the builder? Do builders give you better deals when you're working with or without your own agent? Can you buy a house without an agent? Do you need an agent if you're buying a brand new build? I'm covering all of that along with a little bit of the home buying process for new construction and what happens if you skip representation and go directly with the builder. I am Garced. I am a real estate agent that works and specializes in the Tucson, Arizona area. But you didn't watch this video to learn about my background. You want to know about new construction, so let's get started. The builder's agent works for the builder. Just because the builder's rep is nice does not mean that they have your back or your fiduciary duty to be able to say that point blank, yes, I think that all buyers should be having their own representation when purchasing a new build is incorrect. It really depends on the buyer. How much experience do you have? Are you already a contractor, or have you done a lot of construction on your own? You know, what kind of background, skills, traits do you have? How much time do you have to be able to potentially fight your own battles? And is there a chance that if something goes wrong, that you would end up asking another real estate agent for help? When home buyers are either online or they're in person looking at homes, there are a lot of like self tours where people can just go up to the property, see a couple of the model homes. Right before they enter the model home, there's usually like a QR code. That QR code is so important because they're going to be asking you questions on that QR code. Of course, they're going to ask for your name, number, email, you know, some preliminary questions. They're also going to ask you, what is the name of your real estate agent? What is their phone number? What is their brokerage? What is their email? I don't know if they do this on purpose, but they have a lot of questions, and it's easier for you to say, I'll answer that later. No, I don't have an agent. As soon as you say no, you are forfeiting your own representation. So it's like that foot in the door technique where let's make it as easy as possible for them to come to us, and then let's add that layer of friction because they're right outside of the home. They want to just go in the home. So at that point, they're likely a little bit more impatient. You know, they're excited that you want to go see the home. Why do I want to stand outside for 5 more minutes looking at my agent's phone number and email and brokerage? Come on, let me just go see the home. At that point, if you bypass answering that, you are bypassing your representation. You now have to work with just the builder should you purchase a property of that builder. As someone who has personally purchased a new build for myself, as well as helped hundreds of families, especially military families, purchase properties and invest, I'm an investor myself, I always suggest your own representation when entering a buyer contract. But to quickly answer, do builders give you a better deal if you work with them directly? No. Do builders give you a better deal if you work with your own real estate agent? No. In Tucson, because that's the only area that I can speak to related to new construction, at this time, you can't really shave anything off the purchase price. Whether you work with them directly or your own agent, you're not going to say, oh, well, let's shave off 5% or 3%. The price is what it is. Usually what the builders will say is, well, we already had a price reduction of $24,000, so the price is what it is, which I think is kind of like a cop-out because as a listing agent, when I'm listing homes, not new construction, because I don't work with new construction as a representative, but when I'm listing my own homes, I don't answer that way. When buyers agents call me and, you know, they're trying to negotiate, I don't say, well, we've already reduced it, so that's your incentive right there. You know, that's your savings. I mean, I guess I could, but that's like, obviously you reduced it because it hasn't yet sold. So let's reduce it even more so that we could sell it faster. But anyway, that's my own thoughts. And to quickly also answer the question of, can you buy a new build without your own agent? Yes, of course. But as my dad always told me, it's better to have something and not need it than need it and not have it. So let's go into some examples as to when that would apply, because of course, there are going to be plenty of people that have purchased a property directly with the new build and have had a successful, happy experience. And that's amazing. But when things get hard, because sometimes they will, something will happen and you're going to say, crap, I wish I got my own buyer agent because now it's getting difficult. And at that time, that's not the time when you can be going around to other real estate agents and asking for help. And I do want to go further into this rabbit hole. I get questions from people that have hired a real estate agent and they're asking me for help. I feel bad because, well, one, I can't answer ethically. You hired your own representation. You're paying them. Why do you not feel comfortable asking your own agent for help? So overall, that's like the underlying theme of this video is, do you feel comfortable asking them to close on time? What happens if you find termites in the property, or the drywall wasn't put in correctly, or XYZ, and you have to have a difficult conversation with them? Do you want to be the one doing that? Do you have enough time to do that in order to get their answers and follow up and continuing to speak to not just the builder's rep, but also the construction team and the title company and the loan company, because they're all working together with the new construction? Do you have the time to be able to be there for your own inspections, represent yourself, and say, no, you said that we could close on this date. I want to close on this date. And before we close, I want to make sure that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the items from the inspection report are fixed. So if you have the time and the patience and maybe even the character to bury your feet in the sand and say, no, I'm sticking to my guns. This is what we're doing. If you have that, then perfect. You don't need a buyer's agent. But if you want to shift that burden to an agent that's getting paid to do that, then you can do that too, because either way, you're paying for it. To recap, because I've thrown a lot at you right now, number one is, just because the builder's rep is nice does not mean that they represent you. They work for the builder, not you. Remember that. Number two, they're likely not ever going to suggest an inspection, let alone a couple of them. And even if you hire your own inspection company, then they're not going to say, oh, let's fix all this. It's up to you to ask for that and stay on them and make sure that they actually do fix it before you close. Number three, you're not saving any money by skipping out on your own representation. Either way, you're paying for it. And number four, I have heard this in some instances. Some builders reps can be pushy. This varies by personality, of course, but they're usually going to say something like, oh, we've reduced this property $24,000, so it's going to be taken within the next 5 minutes if you don't place an offer. Or I've just seen some personality clashes. So that's another reason to make sure that you're at least working with someone that you feel comfortable with. That is the underlying message. Do you feel comfortable doing this on your own? Because you absolutely can do this on your own. Or would you rather have the ability to shift that burden onto somebody else that you're paying for anyway, and have more of a seamless, let someone else drive the car type of transaction? So if you're even thinking about purchasing a new build, new construction in the Tucson area, Vail, Marana, Sahuarita, before you step into a property and do one of these self-guided tours, name me. If you want to work with me, of course, right before in the QR code, put my information down. Or if you're not yet in the Tucson area and you're not yet looking around online, then you can go ahead and book a call with the link in my description. That is the only way to start the home buying process with me. Let's talk, no pressure. I just don't want you to walk into an office thinking that they're going to represent you and have your back. If this video helped, please leave a little comment. And if you have any further questions, also drop a comment, because I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions. I'll see you in the next video.